Sweet.
All right, guys, let me hit record. Okay, guys, so welcome to another live analysis session. Today is Tuesday, 13th of July. All right, so we are halfway through the year. Now, there is a lot going on. We've just had some very important news come out, which it is not looking good for the dollar at the moment, which I warned you it would be the case, guys. I really did warn that it would be the case. And now we've had that situation happen. We need to be prepared for what's about to happen moving forward in these markets, because now the CPI is 5.4%, which is even higher than what we expected of 4.9. So I'm going to pull up the charts and I'm going to pull up some analysis. But before I do that, let me switch over to the actual news of today so that we can see what's going on. So let me switch over here. Here we go. All right, guys. So for those of you on the live YouTube, if you're watching, you can put some comments out. I'll try to look at those charts if you have any. But for the meantime, let's just open up these pieces of news. So here we go, guys. So the CPI, Consumer Price Index, is 5.4%, okay, instead of 4.9%, okay. Now, the CPI index tells us how good or how expensive the cost of goods are, excluding food and energy. And the reason why it's excluding food and energy is because if you factor in food and energy data, because the prices are so volatile, it messes up, with the rest of the results. So they exclude that. Okay. But the CPI index, taking away food and energy, has gone from 0.7 to 0.9%. Okay. And the consensus was 0.4% and is better than expected. Now, the reason why these figures are green, okay, is because in a sense, if you this is important, if you're holding dollar denominated assets, so for example stocks, then the value of those stocks would have gone up nominally. But in terms of buying power, which is the real crux of the matter, how much is your currency worth? The buying power has the cost of buying goods and services has just gone down by a larger amount again. Now, for most people, 5.4, these kind of percentages don't mean very much, but in terms of the future of, the dollar, okay, we've just had a sign of more weakening on the dollar. However, these results will show up as positive, and because they are positive here. Now, if you wanted to just check this out, you can. So if I click on this here for you guys to see. All right, CPI. All right, so the CPI is the measure of price movements compared to between retail prices of representative of a shopping or basket of goods and services. These volatile products such as food and energy are excluded to capture an accurate calculation. Generally speaking, a higher reading is positive or bullish for the US dollar, whilst a low reading is bearish. That's apparently what they say. Okay, but CPI is increased and it's going to keep on increasing, which means inflation is most likely increasing too. Okay, so inflation at the moment, last time was checked, was about 4.9. I'm coming back to the charts here. So USD CAD, guys, I gave the trade out. I'm out of it for the moment. Okay, I should go back. Let me log into the challenge account because I'm in my own little account. I'm growing again. There's another one that will be out. I'll show you guys the results of that. Just having some fun there. All right. So logging back into the challenge account again. All right. So again, guys, I always trade live. For those of you who don't know, I don't use demo accounts. Not because they're not good to use, but I just do not use them for now. Okay. There we go. I switched account now. So at the moment, the price is just taking the high of yesterday, and we've had a double bottom form here, and I do believe the price is going to give us another short. Now, on the other account, I have a pending order for the low. Now, it got triggered, and I had to close it because price started to reverse very heavily, and before it reversed too far away from where we wanted it to, I closed it. Now, USD CAD is showing signs of bullish pressure at the moment, but I don't believe this will last. As I said to you guys, USD CAD is in the optimal place for selling. Okay, we've had the A to B swing, and then we've had the C swing right here. And I'm expecting the price to give us a D swing right here. So on the H1 and the M1, M15, I want to see how really the price closes here. Now we have about 20 minutes to see how this candle closes. If we have a body close above this high, then I do expect the price to continue pushing long. Okay, if not, like at the moment we've had a kind of very strong movement here. If the wick of the candle is able to sustain this closure above the high, then we should be looking for a short really. But I'm going to be watching the price. USD CAD is definitely a short, but I believe that we've just had a nice re-entry for a Tuesday. Okay. Same thing with gold. Gold has just spiked for a short. Okay. Back to the equilibrium level. And now it's just got back into this area of supply. So we have an option here as to what gold is going to do. Now, I do believe gold is going to most likely break past the long. Now, this is why I don't personally like to trade gold, but we can see it gap down so strongly here. I guess this was a very cheeky and easy trade. I wish I had seen this just a moment ago because I would have just put a buy on. Okay. But this was a very nice short. I guess the market was caught by surprise by this movement here. But now the price looks either is going to sell from where it is right now because it's in the last area of supply, or the price is about to go long. So I'm very intrigued to see what the price is going to do. To me, it looks as though gold is about to shoot up for a long, and therefore USD CAD to a certain degree should be going short. Now pound USD is also following suit. This would have been a great trade for today, but however, we didn't trade that, so can't really kill ourselves for it. Same thing with Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin and gold have an opposite pair correlation. When gold is going long, Bitcoin goes short. Now, the correlation is for various reasons, but at the moment, what we're seeing here is this correlation of Bitcoin versus gold. Now, this is not a live crypto session. If you want to come to the live crypto session, I'll be live on the Money Max channel at 3 to do a crypto analysis. But for now, let's look at the rest of the market. Okay, so USD Japan, now USD CHF, I've been watching this area here. And I said it yesterday that I do believe we're going to get a long, and now it's happened. And I'm kind of kicking myself because it was such a simple entry. Could have just bought right here, stop loss beneath, and this would have been some great profit. Now, now that the price is doing what it's done, when I look on the 4-hour time frame and I see this price action here, I don't believe this is the end of USD CHF going short. I just think that the price is affording us a very good pullback. And on Wednesday, when we get the real news coming out from America, okay, and we get the Bank of Canada news, I do think that USD CHF will switch back to going for the direction it needs to. So what I'm going to do, I'm watching this price here, just going to mark off some areas that I want to watch for. I think that USD CHF is just giving us all a second chance to get in. And it all depends on how the price behaves today for us to be able to know whether we're entering today or whether we should wait tomorrow. But definitely, okay, so mapping this out now on the 15-minute, I see this supply zone here. I guess I would like to see how the price operates when it gets here. If it closes in here and starts to sell off, then that would be a great entry. Stop loss goes above, and we should continue in the sell side of things. If not, and there is a chance that USD CHF is going to do a fuller pullback, then we should be looking for something that we can grab a little bit higher up, maybe say around about here. Now, this demand zone is the strength of this move to return back to this area here before we got the very strong short. So I'm expecting either the price to pull back to here or somewhere higher, or at this area where we are right now, and give us the sell. I don't believe that this is going to completely continue going long and go through the roof. I believe that the price is just really giving us a second chance or another re-entry. Now, if you're a trend line trader, you could actually use a trend line to map this out, but I wouldn't do that for now. But when I watch the price action here, I think we're highly likely to have a return somewhere along here, and that we should be looking for our sell trades. The real trade for the short is coming up soon. And I think students, everybody be ready to take advantage of this movement, because once it drops, it's not coming back. Now, this drop was already fantastic. I'm hoping that the price, the market milks the opportunity of this inflation news to really push the US dollar as bullishly as it can. All right, but for now, the price is still hanging around. But I'm going to watch this very carefully to see what goes on here. All right, pound USD. Here we go. Pound USD gave us a very good trade yesterday, but I wish I'd just taken the the bull by the horn and took this trade because it was a very simple trade to take. The stop loss would have been above this body here, so 4 pips, and then the rest is history. It's already hit here. Now, if the price breaks beneath here on the 15-minute, I'm willing to take a cheeky little scalp here on this 15-minute time frame because, as you can see, the price did not return here, and I've told you guys about this many times before. We didn't have the return to demand once or twice. So now that we've got this return, I'm expecting the price to really just break past this area very strongly in a moment and give us a good sell. From the looks of things, it looks ripe to go for a sell. So I'll be looking to take a scalp sell in a moment. All right. We've just had the new 15-minute candle form, but I still want to see a body close to a certain degree. I don't want to just wing it because right now the body of the candle is still in the area and it could pull back one more time. But to me, this looks like a straight sell. I might use my other account for this one. So let me log into the other account. And here we go. Yeah, so log into this other account and let's see what happens here. I'm going to put a very small sell and I'll follow it through with um, the rest of the chart. So let's go on a 15-minute here. Let me do something. Yeah, I do think we have a continuation here. Now, remember, guys, when inflation increases, okay, right now, if you're confused as to what's going on, if you notice that pound USD has gone short, okay, let me pull up another one here. Euro USD has gone short. However, gold has gone long. Okay, the reason why gold has gone long is because gold is a hedge against inflation. Okay, when inflation increases, the rich, the smart money people who know about what CPI really means to the world and to the people will be hedging their money inside of gold, traditional finance anyway, because it simply allows them to protect themselves against currency devaluation. Because if they're holding cash right now in dollar denominated currency, as the CPI has gone up, then their buying power has just gone down, which is bad for them. That means their wealth, even if their wealth nominally has increased, they say they're a billionaire, but if inflation rises, then their billion, let's say if it's at inflation's at 5%, their billion has the buying power of 5% less of 1 billion. So we're talking of 50 million less. So they've just lost $50 million by that small change in inflation. This is how serious it is. So this is why it's important for you to understand these things that we're looking at here. So let's put something on here. This is why I would say to you guys that please make sure that you take the time to study these things. Don't just take it for granted. Inflation is it has is controlling factors and benefits to what it does for an economy short term, but you have to understand what these things mean. Okay, because usually a compared to pair correlation, if gold is going long, then Euro USD and other dollar denominated pairs are going long. But you can see that gold went long instead of short, but pound USD has gone short, and so has USD CHF gone long instead. So please understand these things when you're watching out, because otherwise you could get caught in a trap that you don't want to get caught in. All right, but I'm going to give pound USD a bit more time. I don't want to rush it. When it hits 2 o'clock, we'll see. All right, USD CHF is still pulling up long. I'm hoping that it gives an even deeper re-entry. We'll just have to wait and see. We're coming up to this 15-minute zone right here. This might actually be the entry to go for a short. So if it is, I'll come back to it in a moment. And let's see what's going on with Euro USD. So if Euro USD, the price is pulling back now to this area of demand. And it all matters now as to what the price is going to do. Now, ideally, I wanted to see the price get around this area here. Okay. And there is a little bit of a, not my favorite type of demand zone, but there is a demand zone beneath here. I want to see how the price operates, whether it's going to use this demand zone to give us the long. Now, remember, guys, don't lose sight of the gaps. when we had the FOMC minutes come out, there were many gaps that were formed, and the many gaps that were formed need to be filled. Okay, gold is an example of one of them. If I go to the 30-minute on gold, I think gold is the easiest one to see. If I go back a little bit, here you go. You see that gold has a very big, huge gap right here, a about 80 pip, 85 pip gap, 90 pips even. Has a 90 pip gap that has not been filled and is confirmed because I've looked at different brokerage price fees. That is a real gap. It's not a broker error or something like that. Okay, so for that reason, all right, I'm looking for the long on gold sooner or later. But for the moment, as to where we are, I do think that gold had one more short in it. If the price does, the key for gold for us to know what to do is this H4 area here. This is the only thing really holding the price from going any further. As you can see, as the price got into this area, we've had a very strong accumulation of the price within this area. If it breaks past here, then we're going long. And I expect the price to get to these highs at least and even higher. But for now, we're in a crucial point where either gold should go long or short. Now, I would ideally like to see gold go short, to be fair. As it's returning to here, it would have been great to see it go short, but it really does depend on what goes on in the market in that sense. On the other hand, pound USD pushing short the way it is. I'm expecting it to pull back for us, but it is shorting, which is great. USD CHF is approaching now. Let's look at the rest. Now, Euro USD is not my favorite pair out of these, so I won't be focused on Euro USD. If you have an analysis or you have something you want to share, you can do. Make some comments. Now, I'm going to go forward and have a look here. All right, so AUD USD, guys, I was looking for the long, and it looks like it's pulling back now. So I think we might actually be able to get a very good trade on AUD USD, it looks like. So I'm looking to take a long here. Here's the D1. The D1 validation point is not here right now. It's disappeared, but we'll go through that later on. So these are my marking, guys, like my markings. I'm expecting the price to pull back here, and I'm looking for an entry. AUD USD is looking good right now. Let me see here. I want to see what the price does here. I'm going to set an alarm. It looks as though we might actually get a good long on AUD USD, but I'm going to be mindful of it. On this account, I can put about 0.03 or 4, I believe. I'm going to put 0.03. I want to see what happens with this entry. And with this long, I'm expecting the long to really reach about here, possibly even above this high at 76. But I want to see what happens here right now. So I'm actually going to take this trade live now. Usually I don't do trading live, but I am going to do trading live right here. I'm just going to put a tiny alarm and see if I can squeeze in one more analysis right here. Let's see what else is going on in the market with other pairs. All right, NZD USD is also showing very strong bearish signs. AUD USD was a really good trade. I wish I caught the NZD, excuse me, USD. What a trade that was. Very clean. I wish I caught that. But again, you can't catch them all, guys. We don't look at every pair. That was clean, though. This was beautiful. But now that we have this formation, this is nice. This is really nice. Wow. All right. But before I go and take AUD USD, guys, yesterday I made you guys delete your pending orders for AUD USD long because I'm still being cautious of it. Before I go and take AUD USD, I need to watch out very carefully to see how this price is behaving. Because again, we can see right here, things like USD CAD are still pulling even higher. So I want to be careful that we don't get ourselves meddled in to a trade we're not supposed to be involved in. Now gold is going for the short, but it's pulled back into this area. So AUD USD and gold, by the way, they have a very strong pair correlation when if they both go together in the same direction, because the gold strengthens the Australian dollar currency's strength. Now the price is just reversing before it enters this zone, so I want to see what happens here. All right, if you want to enter this live with me, you can, but I'm watching to see what's going on here. I really want to see if gold is going to give us a long or a short. At the moment, it's still pushing a bit further short, possibly for re-entry, but it's still within this algorithmic area here. This whole area here is important, and the price has spiked to the lowest point of it. Price is very specific, guys. This lowest point of this algorithmic area. This is not a teaching live session, so I won't be going through the teaching on why, but it's not important at the moment. But right now, the price literally spiked to this lowest point just here, which is the perfect point it should do. So I'm going to watch out to see now. Yeah, perfect point that it should do. The price may either close in here and use one of these demand areas to go for a long or not. But we'll know very soon. Once the price gets into this area, really, guys, what I'm looking for is I want to look for the price to get inside of this area and struggle to push further lower. If I see that the price starts to continue to push lower as though this zone doesn't exist, then I wouldn't get in. All right. But it is worth taking this trade, I believe, because the long potential is fantastic, especially the second target, which is above these highs right here. But I want to see what happens when the price gets into the zone. Now, USD CAD just seems like it's providing an even better entry to go long from. And I want to see how that behaves also. Now, it looks very clear that the price is breaking above this 1 hour zone here, which is it was an important part in what we were trying to do. And we only have 4 minutes left. So unless the price is going to drop drastically beneath this area, then it looks like we're actually going to go for a long. But the long, I'm looking for it to re-enter back to this H1 area, but just a little bit higher. Now, to be specific, I'll throw this one out to you guys on the YouTube community if you guys want to take this one. Specifically, what I am looking for, and I have to go to the 5 minutes to grab it, or maybe I can use the 15. Specifically, what I am looking for, I have to use the 5 minute for this, is this area right here. Now, I don't have the time to explain why exactly this supply zone is the entry for me, but my students will know why, but I don't have the time to go through that right now. So you're going to have to capture it along here. But this is my main target. If I can get an entry right here, then I'm happy. Okay. Right at this zone right here. Okay. So I'm going to see what happens with AUD/USD. The price is still pushing along. I want to see how it behaves in this zone. It kind of looks like the US dollar is not letting anything slide right now. It's really pushing and pumping, but here we go. We're getting towards 2 o'clock. Okay, so my alarm is hit now. So I'm going to get ready with the position open to go for it. I'm going to switch on the other laptop. Well, it's already on. Let me get the other chart open just to be prepared to take this twice, because it's still got work to do in the challenge account. But let's see what's going on here. All right, so gold is pushing short here very nicely. Let's see how this short plays out. Now, if this short is the short that I was waiting for, then we're going to have to switch our bias, because again, this spike right here might just have been the entry to go for a short, but we will know in a moment. We really will. We really will know in a moment. Now, what I might do, since the price is tapped into there, let me go for a simple 0.01. Let's go. See what happens with that. So I'm going to put 0.01. That's not really the entry I want, but I'm just going to put 0.01 with a wider stop loss. So I just want to observe the price and see what the price is trying to do here. Okay, USD CAD is pulled up a bit higher. Now, the second area of entry is where it is right now, into this supply zone. You just reached there right now. So if that's it, then let it be so. If not, then we're going to push a bit higher, but we can have some fun with this. Let me switch over to these charts here. I'm logging into the other trade account from here. All right. So for those in the YouTube community, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Take care.